Hi everyone, I'm Humbly Anna Anders. This is June 29th, and I'm standing here in my home shooting this little humble YouTube video. I think my tripod is a little bit off balance. Hey Olivia and Marie. Hey baby, Grandma loves you. So I'm going to shoot this video real quick and then we're going to get going. We got some errands to run. Me and my beautiful granddaughter, Olivia and Marie, right baby? We can go bye-bye. Maybe we'll go to the museum today. Art museum, and see what's happening down there, Olivia. Because Grandma's got to go see about her job at the county. Okay, so this video is 45 seconds long, but what I wanted to say humbly is, you know, I gave a shout out to my girlfriend Gladys last night as well on the YouTube channel. And Gladys, thank you so much for being in my soul beautiful sacred life. How did I know God was going to give me the gift of G, humbly, when everything else, my burden basket was turned upside down in that shelter when I first heard you. And so, yeah, then it opened up doors of 12-step recovery rooms. And I got to tell you, so many chairs and so many doors that I went through, it's not even funny. Yeah, I had to go to Al-Anon, Adult Children of Alcoholics. I went to AA meetings. I went to Codependence Anonymous meetings. I lived there, seemed like forever. Went to, help me God to see what meetings it was. Other 12-step meetings that I had issues with that I had to go to. Plus, I sought outside counseling for myself as well. And for my children, too, and my husband, too, at the time. He didn't choose sobriety, but that was his choice. And I chose recovery. So, and the rest is her story, my story, not his story. So, and that's what I got to stick to here. And I just want to give a shout out to the 12-step people that were genuinely there for me. And I want to give a shout out to the corrupt 12-step people that were genuinely not there for me and that sabotaged me. I just want to know, I want you to know that you were so hurtful to me. And I forgive you for that. I forgive you for doubting and distrusting me with my spiritual journey. And humbly, I'm saying that to a specific person that I took in sacred honor in my heart space as my spiritual advisor and sponsor that I had for many years. And I'm talking about a decade. But unfortunately, I was expecting once again, I was expecting loyalty from a disloyal being. You know, who couldn't even be loyal to her husband, married and divorced 6 or 7 times. So, and I didn't see that was a problem for me having her as a sponsor. So it became a problem for me later because, yeah, she corruptly had me set up and arrested in Flagstaff, Arizona at an AA meeting for disrupting a meeting for speaking. You know, and I wasn't disrupting the meeting. What it was, and I said this quote before, you guys, my job as an activist is not to comfort the corrupt. My job as an activist is to comfort the disturbed and to disturb the corrupt. That's my job as an activist. So, even in the 12-step rooms, you know, half measures avails me nothing. That's what the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says. So I can't do this recovery half-measuredly. And so how do I say this? I prayed about it, I meditated, and I made, you know, God showed me. I made my decision to fire my sponsor, and I did. I didn't do it disrespectfully. I did it respectfully. I mean, we went on a trip to California and everything. But what I want to say, long story short, she was corrupt and set me up. And Carrie Joy Jeanette will tell you this as well. And I'll maybe get a little YouTube video interview from Carrie later about this. But anyways, Carrie Joy Jeanette was there for me, though, humbly. And I'm so grateful for that because to have something like that done to you, it's like spiritually and emotionally harmful. And it's not only that way harmful, but it's also very stressful. And what I want to say is becoming and evolving into this peace activist woman that I am today, spiritually speaking, the struggle is so real. And the stress and the dynamics that goes along with it is so real too. And then it's so real that even your significant other, sometimes the burden is great, you know, and so the stress is so real at home as well. And so the struggle has been real. But, and there's been a lot of doubt and distrust from a lot of people. But today, I'm not doubting and distrusting my spiritual calling. I know what my God is telling me today. And humbly, I'm just pursuing that one day at a time. And just being mindful, trying to be humbly mindful of everybody. And to do that which my God would humbly have me do one day at a time within my capacity or energies, if you will. And so that's what it is. And I'm not out to hurt anybody. You know, hurt people just hurt people. And that's what I've experienced in the dynamics of my family tree growing up. And, you know, our family tree is full of beautiful people, beautiful faces, intelligent people. But unfortunately, our family tree also has its history, its corrupt history from long ago, 4 generations back. My mom's side, my dad's side. My mother's side, they had domestic violence like every Friday. That's what my mother told me. That's what my grandmother told me before they died. Now, if somebody else wants to change up these stories, they can go ahead and do that. I mean, literally, my grandfather used to get drunk every Friday and beat up on my grandmother, and my mom and her siblings would have to run and hide for their lives underneath the kitchen sinks and stuff. So, and then in those days, they would take my grandfather away to jail, but they really didn't have any support systems, 12-step support systems in place. The same for my father's side of the family. 4 generations back, alcoholism. My grandfather had 38 kids, my dad's father. You know, he had the disease of alcoholism too. And back in those days, if you spoke another language, Spanish, and you were drunk and all that, white people can't understand that. So a lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened. He was thrown into mental illness institutions. You know, if they would have had Spanish Alcoholics Anonymous people reaching out to him in those hospitals, he might have figured out that he was an alcoholic. You know, he might have figured out that he had what's called broken zipper syndrome. He might have figured out 38 kids is trying to tell me something, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, our lives did not happen that way. Unfortunately, so this disease, this family tree disease of alcoholism is a burden and a blessing, and it's a curse too. So, but this girl, I didn't want to nurse that curse anymore. And so I found my trials and tribulations to be challenging, because I rose up out of the, out of the sacred laws of my family story. 7011 Virginia Avenue, March 17, 1990. And I know what I come from. And I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget the losses we suffered as a family. You will never know. You weren't there, but we were there. And so humbly, that's the mojo, the inspiration that carries this peace activist today. And not just for me and my family, because the struggle is real for many families that struggle with the disease of addiction and affliction. That, I got to tell you folks, I'm going to shut down the video. I got to get my baby here, my grandbaby. But I want to tell you this in closing. The struggle is real for many people. You know, alcohol industry, do your homework. Prohibition. Medical marijuana, do your homework. Okay? Government's approving it now. Okay. Hey, Emery. One more thing and Grandma's shutting it down. I want to say this. Tobacco industry. The Native Americans grew tobacco. How did the white man get the tobacco industry? Tobacco industry causes cancer from the white man. I got to go. We're going to shut this down now. Thank you. Amen, and thanks be to God in the Most Highest.